Introducing the Goose Island 2025 Bourbon County Brand Stout lineup. This year's lineup is all a story of evolution and metamorphosis, and it really focuses in on our Bourbon County Stout Original. We're welcoming, for the first time ever, our 4-pack 10-ounce bottle for Original. Original will only be available in this format this year, while the rest of the lineup is going to still stay in that classic 16.9-ounce bottle. As Stout ages, you get dried fruit, you get stone fruit, leather, tobacco. There's characteristics of chocolate. You get vanilla and marshmallow and toast from the barrel. For each of these individual brands, we wanted to bring some of these different characteristics up to the forefront. For our Cherries Jubilee, for example, we really wanted to bump up that fruited characteristic to it. So we finished our bourbon barrel-aged stout in cognac barrels and then amped it up a little bit further with some Montmorency cherries, which added a nice little vibrancy of that stone fruit. To our chocolate praline, where it really leans into that roast profile that you get from Bourbon County Stout Original with cocoa nibs. As that stout ages, it gets a little bit kind of nutty, a little bit of marzipan. So we added a little bit of hazelnuts, almonds, cashews to it to really bump that flavor up even more. And then a little bit of dates, kind of emulating a little bit of that caramelized characteristic that is so signature to our original stout. Bourbon County Stout Reserve for this year is in partnership with our friends over at Parker's Heritage. We used their 17th edition rye whiskey barrels that were 10 years old, and we aged our stout in those barrels for about 2 years, and that really tells the story of time. To our friends over at Heaven Hill, working with them on a double barrel-aged stout with Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. We used 2 sets of Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond barrels, which are 7-year-old bourbon barrels, and we aged it first in that one set, then transferred that same beer into the second set. And really what we're doing here is doubling down on that bourbon characteristic. To our proprietors, which is Chicago only, it's inspired by baklava. We use pistachio, again, hearkening back to that really nutty characteristic that you get out of our original stout, to cassia bark, which is a nod to the spice that you get out of bourbon and out of that American oak. It's a really full-bodied stout, and so we added a little bit of honey there to really kind of bring that to the forefront. And so again, the inspiration for this lineup is really all about our original and that change to the new 4-pack that highlight the beer that started it all, which is our Bourbon County Stout Original.